House of Representatives Minority Caucus has called for the release of the detained leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, Mr. Nnamdi Kanu. In a meeting held in Abuja, over 180 lawmakers elected on the platform of minority political parties made the call following the adoption of a motion moved at the special meeting of the caucus on Monday night by Mr. Obi Agwocha. In a statement issued on Tuesday, the lawmaker who represents Ikwano Umuahia North, Umuahia South Federal Constituency, Abia State, urged his colleagues to take a definitive position on the ongoing lobby to explore possible political solution to the continued detention of the IPOB leader. The Minority Caucus is made up of the People's Democratic Party, which has 115 seats, Labour Party 35 seats, New Nigeria People's Party 19 seats, and the All Progressive Grand Alliance with 5 seats. Others are the Social Democratic Party 2 seats, the Young Progressive Party, and the African Democratic Congress with 2 seats each. Agwocha emphasized the importance of a common front within the Minority Caucus, noting that the resolution on Nnamdi Kanu's case is crucial for national peace, stability, and unity. He also called for immediate and strategic engagement with relevant stakeholders to advocate for a peaceful and political resolution to the matter, which he said has significant implications for the socio-political landscape of Nigeria. He added that dialogue and reconciliation, rather than a prolonged abuse of legal processes and confrontation, remain the best option in dealing with the matter. He expressed his belief that a political solution could pave the way for enhanced national integration and the restoration of trust among various communities. Bright, what is your take on this? Do you agree with the House of this Minority Caucus of House of Rep members that political solution is the way to go with regards to Nnamdi Kanu's case?
Madam Choma, thank you. You know, Nnamdi Kanu case has become something, you can say, it has become a kind of recurrence every time we talk about Nnamdi Kanu and federal government, this and so I think from what the rep said, I think that should be the best solution, because you know, Nigeria this time we are seeing where people don't respect court orders. I think there was a time the court ordered for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, of which I think if they should follow that court order by now, it would have been released. But you know, there is this fear of if we release this man, are you sure he's not going back to the previous Nnamdi Kanu we know? Or are we going to have a different Nnamdi Kanu? You agree with me that before he was arrested, the activities of Nnamdi Kanu is a threat to the state. It's a threat to Nigeria as a country. No, whereby yes, you know, Nnamdi Kanu, before he was arrested, that is where we started hearing of the strong voice of IPOB, where they now have their own soldiers. You know, there was a formation of IPOB soldiers during his time, before he was arrested. That was when federal government attacked him, that wanted to arrest him, that he escaped. So if at all something like that was allowed, how many soldiers are we going to have in a country? By now we have heard that, oh, Nnamdi Kanu soldiers, but maybe we don't know where we would have been before. So there is I think the best way to get Nnamdi Kanu released is through dialogue. It's through dialogue. And believe me, there is still that fear, that tendency, is he going back to this? Because Nnamdi Kanu is one name that is very, very big in the ears of those from the southeast. I think the name already Nnamdi Kanu is very big there. So I think it's not something you can allow Nnamdi Kanu to go. Even though, yes, we follow through the court order and say, let us release Nigeria, Nnamdi Kanu should be released. What if he goes back to those activities?
Now the question would be, Nnamdi Kanu has been incarcerated for a while, correct?
Yes.
Now, with Nnamdi Kanu's incarceration, Southeast has been thrown into spate of insecurity. Now we have the ESN, we have the Ibubagu, we have the Umwoma,
yes,
right? IPOB is on the side, and IPOB so far, you cannot directly link them to cases of violence.
Yes.
But you can link cases of violence, unrest, to ESN. You can link it to Ebubago. You can link it to Umoma. And these people are not the offshoots of Nnamdi Kanu. Do you understand? Now, Ebubago, in this instance, that is the vigilante group for Governor Uzodinma of Imo State. And they are unleashing terror on in certain places, particularly Olu zone of Imo State. So I can go on and on and on too. So when you say Nnamdi Kanu, they fear that if he comes out, you know, the unrest will increase. The question will be, with his incarceration, has come increased unrest in the southeastern zones?
Yes, like I said before, you made mention of the Ebubago and Umoma and the ESM. I think that ESM is Eastern Security Network. Then this Ebubago is being formed by Hope Uzodinma.
And then the Umoma on their own. They say they are a faction. All of them are. The ESN is agitating.
Yes.
Umoma is agitating.
Yes.
Now Ebubago was from Governor Hope Uzodinma to counter them. It's always killings after killings from different quarters.
Yes. Why did I draw this thing? Because there was I think you make something saying the Ebubago have been killings. You know, I think the Ebubago was created to counter these people. Yes. And who are these people? The unknown gunmen in the.
How do you identify them?
That's why they are unknown gunmen.
Now, do you know the activities of Ebubago in Imo State?
For me, Ebubago was created by the governor. So if there is anything, if they are unleashing terrors in the state, I think the governor should be held responsible. This one doesn't concern Nnamdi Kanu at this point. You are the one, as a governor, you are the one that created this. So if the vigilante group you created to counter or to make peace, because I remember then there was a very heavy shooting in Imo State, especially the Olo side. Yes, and that they tagged them unknown gunmen before Uzodinma have to create this Ebubago. Now, if the Ebubago now have turned, like you said, or for me, I'm still seeing the unknown gunmen as the one. Yes, sir.
Who are the unknown gunmen?
The unknown gunmen, you know, the unknown gunmen are agitators. They say they're agitators. You say, the unknown gunmen are the agitators.
So now we have you now. As it is right now, unknown government has also joined the list.
Yes.
So we now have the Ebubago.
Yes.
We now have Umoma. We now have the ESN. We now have unknown government.
What are the activities?
We now have unknown government.
What are the activities?
The truth remains that innocent people are being killed.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. Now, it's a situation where people will be sleeping at night, they enter a community and kill, particularly the youths. Now,
Madam Choma, you have to look at the genesis of all this. You agree with me that all this started because of Nnamdi Kanu? The killing started because of Nnamdi Kanu.
Is it Nnamdi Kanu or the agitation?
The agitation. Who was in charge? Who was leading the agitation? It was Nnamdi Kanu.
The agitation wrong?
For me, I don't want to say if it is wrong or right.
All right, very well. Ugochukwu, what is your take on this matter?
My brother Bright, I think when we come on national television, we shouldn't be making some statements and allegations that, no, he knows the genesis of the problem. Like, he has the right of remaining neutral or silent. When you ask, was the agitation of Nnamdi Kanu right or wrong? He has the right to remain neutral. But let me remind him that Nnamdi Kanu is a freedom fighter, and it's the state of Nigeria that made Nnamdi Kanu. You know, when Jonathan, I could remember in 1914, I was in Malaysia when Nnamdi Kanu visited the IPOB family in Malaysia. I was among those that went to receive him because I was on a study tour. So when Nnamdi Kanu came, he gave the template of what his activities are. And he was able to secure for the Nigerians resident in Malaysia the leverage of not being chastised if their visas expires and all that. He was trying to form a synergy between the government and the Nigerian residents there. So he came back during Jonathan's administration. Jonathan did not arrest him, but Jonathan knows his activities as an activist. He's a freedom fighter. But what happened when Buhari, he even campaigned for Buhari to come into power, because he knows that once Buhari come as a former military man, Buhari was going to come all out for him. That was where you started hearing Nnamdi Kanu. But you know that Nnamdi Kanu has been the brain behind the Biafran radio and all that. But you people started hearing Nnamdi Kanu when he has made all his permutations, and Buhari fell to it. Remember that Obasanjo told Buhari, you shall not fall, you should have not fall for the gimmicks of this guy. Immediately he was arrested, you started hearing Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu is someone that is championing for the fairness, for the equity and charter of equal rights. According to what is signed in the Nigerian Constitution of the Nigerian Charter of Equity. Because after the war, you have seen the position that the Nigerian state has kept the Southeast. Even after the 3 R's, reconciliation, reconstruction, and which other R that the Gowon administration came with. And no victor, no vanquish. You have seen it. And then Nnamdi Kanu now came and he was granted bail and all whatnot that happened. And he was now rearrested and came into Nigeria. Let me tell you, Nnamdi Kanu did not form a militia group. It was when the herdsmen were ravaging the East. Go and make your research. He now formed the BBC that are counter, like you have the forest guards. Those people that will go into the bushes and make sure that instead of human being living in a rented apartment or living where human beings are seeing the person doing your business, you are living inside the bush and causing mayhem. That was why he formed it. When the whole southeastern governors were silent on the killings and the maiming of the people in the southeast, he rose to the occasion and said, we cannot leave our people vulnerable. What he formed, is it not what Akeredolu championed as the Amuteku in the southwest, that are also guiding their people? What are the activities and where the Amuteku operate? They are making sure that their lands are not overrun. Because the administration of Muhammadu Buhari in the last 8 years, just like what we are talking about going for protests and all that, the hunger and everything we are suffering is that everybody in Nigeria kept quiet. And Muhammadu Buhari came and governed Nigeria the way he likes. The Boko Haram metamorphosed into ISIS, metamorphosed into kidnapping, metamorphosed into banditry and all whatnot. And Nigeria went from what was being a country that was moving towards a progressive trajectory to retrogressive.
All right.
That was how we came to where we are today. So Nnamdi Kanu being what I want to say is that this Agocha, was he not the person that visited the Buhari during the Salah holiday? It was the same person that went to Daura to ask Buhari, who didn't reduce Nnamdi Kanu, to now asking him to mediate and interface with, plead with Tinubu to release Nnamdi Kanu. But what I'm telling the caucus and people from the southeast is that they have not been fair. All the leaders of the south, both Ohanes and Igbo, both those with the exception of few, like the likes of Abaribe and co.
All right.
That have not been fair to this young man Nnamdi Kanu in making sure that the Nigerian state treats him fairly.
All right.
Where is Igboho today? Choma, excuse me.
Very quick.
Where is Igboho?
Out of time.
Where is
yes?
Where is the people the likes of Gumi, Sheikh Gumi? So for him to be, for the House of Representatives caucus to be calling minority to be calling about this, they are calling. I call it a political game.
All right.
I call it they are seeking relevance,
right.
And it will not make for a good bargain for Nnamdi Kanu if he is released on political ground and him being gagged, and the southeast will be left vulnerable as the case may be.
The question is, you said he formed a security. He said he formed a security to tackle this. Does he now have the right to form security and arm them?
Do you know
now
that?
You've mentioned the one wrote to me.
Hold on. When you say form a security, hold on. When you say form a security and arm them, at what point, or can you say, or mention one IPOB protest that
we're not talking.
Hold on. That the protesters were armed and unleashed mayhem during the protests?
I was referring to what he said, not protest. Now he said something of. I was asking. He said because there was the Fulani, then you have to form. Those securities formed, was they not armed?
They were not
now
armed.
You now link it to the one formed by Rotimi.
Yes.
Akredo. That now Rotimi. Believe me, he was there, he was a governor. He was sitting as a governor before he formed those things. Now, Nnamdi Kanu, does he have the right? That's what I'm asking. Does he have the right to form? Remember, this security, they move with arms. Because you cannot say, oh, you are securing this. What are you using stick to secure them? Yeah, and I know the truth that these people, does he have the right to form it and arm them?
Yes, I want to say two things only. You know, in Nigeria, Choma, in Nigeria, the person that is securing your national pipeline, is it the Nigerian military?
No.
You have not heard about somebody in the South who has an army, whom even the federal government engages for other things. Do you want me to mention names? No, wait. And in the villages where the traditional rulers form, if your estate is being disturbed, will you wait for the IG to come and tell you to put a...
My question is, does he have the right to form security?
With all these questions I have asked now.
He asked you a question, and he asked about a Nigerian.
Remember, he didn't mention the name.
Hold on. He asked if you can.
I don't know.
Name if you want.
If you mention, I don't know.
Because when you laughed, you know.
No, I don't know.
A Nigerian from
Asare Dokubo has come on different fora to brag about his army, and even the Nigerian government pays him heavily. Even the Ebubago Choma is talking about in Imo State, and not Ebubago. They are people who are paid, who are the armies of Asare Dokubo.
Are you saying that he has the right to form the security and arm them?
Hold on. The question he's asking, for the sake of clarity, is you said that Nnamdi Kanu didn't have the right to form security to protect his people from issues of like Fulani headsmen and the headsmen, not even Fulani, the headsmen in this instance, and other issues of insecurity. Now, he's giving instances and now said there are individuals in Nigeria who have boasted that they have foot soldiers. They have boasted that they have soldiers. In fact, if you recall, there was a certain time, Asare Dokubo, to be precise, had a video where he had his men all armed, sitting behind him, where he leashed out threats. Asare Dokubo on different occasions have come out to make threats, even to government in power. You recall. And he's now talking of Tompolo, that has to do with Tantita security.
Wow.
Right? And who clearly, everybody knows, they have their men on ground. In fact, they were the ones that literally did the agitation when Niger Delta was having crisis before the amnesty came. Right? Until now, he has his armed men. Are you saying by that question
for business purposes, for business,
it is okay for a Nigerian to have a community of soldiers?
Okay.
Trained by him and owned by him.
Okay.
And then the government now pays him heavily to safeguard their waterways.
Okay.
Make it make sense. While I am not making a case for Nnamdi Kanu clearly with regards to having his own security apparatus, but he raised a point that is very, very salient. And now I'm eating into the time for another story, but I think this point should be addressed. What do you have to say to that?
Which point is that?
The question he just raised, and I had to clarify so you can answer.
No.
About individuals being as powerful as the Nigerian military.
The issue, that is one thing, sometimes we got it wrong in the country.
All right.
Yeah, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. Now, because I'm doing this, doesn't mean that what I'm doing is right, that will make you to go into it. Now the question is, if Tompolo have his arm, have his soldiers, is he right? Does he have the right to do it?
Is the federal government?
But your federal government is legitimizing it.
No, this is the federal government has an individual. Tompolo has an individual. He was hired to safeguard.
Which people?
I don't know. When you say give me this, you hire your colleagues. But this is the question is that does he have the right?
So Nnamdi Kanu don't have right to protect.
Tompolo doesn't have the right. He doesn't have the right. Tompolo doesn't have the right.
And the Nigerian state is patronizing.
He doesn't have the right to own soldiers.
But
how many soldiers we have in Nigeria?
Is patronizing him.
No. I'm asking the right.
You saying
have the right. Now, do you know that
Tompolo does not have the right?
Tompolo have not. Yes.
That Nigerian government legitimizing his activities by even awarding a contract to safeguard the waterways when we have Nigerian Navy.
You know,
are you saying the government is even operating unconstitutionally? Are you saying that the government is empowering by their actions? They are empowering illegality.
Do you know that? You agree with me that even where they are doing a kind of project, when government is doing some project, even though there is police there, sometimes they call on the youth of those communities to help to safeguard the.
I now ask another question.
I think you're getting me. That doesn't mean Tompolo was not given the contract.
Being disturbed, you
or being salute. That he was not given the contract. That's my comment. He was not given the contract or salute because he had his own soldiers.
Which are being patronized by Nigerian state.
The question is that when Tompolo formed this, was there any endorsement to say, oh, Tompolo, we have endorsed their soldiers? Now, this his own. He formed this.
Awarding of contracts.
You can award. You can award contract individuals. You can award contract individuals.
Nnamdi Kanu has no rights.
If I don't interrupt me, please. The federal government awarding contracts
to
the same man who has armed men for whatever purpose. What
the issue is that, you know, after the case of militancy in a South region, you know, the federal government see it as if, oh, since most of these people have been the major blow in the activities of these pipelines.
Why don't they absorb them into the Nigerian?
No, since they knew we have, since they know how the same operate, let us join them with the military. You can agree with me that even Tompolo safeguarding those pipelines, there's still military there, or there's no military there.
The question is, we have Nigerian army saddled with the responsibility of safeguarding our waterways, correct?
Yes.
The question is, why is the federal government liaising with Tompolo?
Yes.
Who openly has his own military apparatus or security apparatus, armed security apparatus, as it were? That's number one question. Number two, Asani Dokubo on different occasions has released videos with his men, armed heavily, standing behind him while he dished out threats. That's number two. Number three, recently in Rivers State, with regards to the expiration of the local government tenure, a young man came out brandishing weapons with his boys, and they made threats openly, and he even called on the state government to empower him to go and remove the local government chairman. And up until now, that young man and his group has not been arrested. Make it make sense to me.
Madam Chairman, let me answer this. You know, you brought the issue of a young man trying to coming out on air to say how he will escort this. I think that should be Asa Abuja, if I'm not mistaken. You know, the truth is that the activities of Asa Abuja, after that, what was the step taken? You can agree with me that the commissioner of police have declared him wanted, have declared the person you are talking wanted, who is the man that said, oh, he will accompany all the CTC chairmen to their various secretariats and the LGS. Now, he has been declared wanted. For him to say this, that doesn't mean that is right. Asai owns a soldier, I'm not arguing with that. Tompolo owns a soldier, I'm not arguing with that. But my question is that, is it constitutional? Does they have the right to own these soldiers? Now, If you can, if
so
like,
the question
I don't think
very quickly.
They don't have.
Very quickly because we are out of time.
They don't have.
While I'm not making case for anybody, but we are looking at issues critically.
Yes.
Why Igbos are agitating that they are marginalized. If Tompolo has soldiers and the federal government is enabling him by awarding him contracts to safeguard the waterways with his own armed military people. Yes. And in this case, Sunday Igboho, who already was facing a terrorism charge, after the president became the president, his issues were dropped and he came back to Nigeria. Showore had an issue. And the same Showore is now the person that is organizing a nationwide protest. And the same day, the Ala president was facing a terrorism charge, and shortly after Buhari became president, it was quashed, and these charges were dismissed. Now, these are people from different ethnic groups. And in South, like I mentioned, Asari and Tompolo, they are well and strong, and the federal government is funding Tompolo to safeguard waterways. Why can't Nnamdi Kanu?
Do you know, you agree with me?
I am not saying,
even though,
hold on. Don't interject and don't add, no. I am not asking for Nnamdi Kanu to be released to safeguard his people. Hold on, please. Let me make this clarification.
Yeah.
Like he has posited. That's not my question. Yeah. My question is with respect to political solution to other ethnic groups. If the government has been benevolent to these people, why not extend the same benevolence to the Southeasterners?
Now, you know,
knowing that this to a large extent can heal wounds.
Now, this is Sunday with his own issues. This is Asari Dokubo and Tompolo, though they are not mentioned here because we are using them as a case study of this. Now, this is Nnamdi Kanu's issue. You know, before now, you know, Nnamdi Kanu's pattern is a kind of division. It's a threat. It's divisive. It's a threat to the country. You know, you have an issue. We look at the bigger ones. Nnamdi Kanu is a kind of issue that will divide the country. That is why the country is not taking it lightly with him.
Sunday, yes, what was his agitation for? Was it not divisive?
It wasn't up to Nnamdi Kanu's one. Did he form security?
Hold on. Was it divisive?
Nnamdi Kanu's own was massive.
Even
though his own was not as much as Nnamdi Kanu.
If you allow, was it divisive?
Even though, yes, it was, but it wasn't to the extent of Nnamdi Kanu.
That's all I need. Thank you very much.
It's fine.
We are actually out of time.
We are fine. Let's move.
I would have loved us to.
Thank you so much.
So this is where we wrap it up on this episode of Open Conversation. Thank you so much, Bright, for coming. It's a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
And thank you,
Madam Choma.
Gochukwu Ifeanyi for coming. It's also a pleasure.
We have right to protest.
All right. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials. Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1. And on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Do not forget, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Ogulore Choma. Transition News comes up next. Do not go away.